Welcome into Box Office Quarterbacks. This is an emergency podcast because we were not expecting so much Marvel news to drop over the weekend for Comic-Con. So much so that me and Eric were like, hey, we got to jump on here and talk about them essentially laying out their plans for the next decade yesterday.
Yeah, man, have you recovered? Because
I'm not recovered.
I'm still not in shock, but like, man, I had a feeling when we wrote our previews for Comic Con that it was gonna be blown up, but not to this fashion. So I think we should just get right into it.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to start with Marvel today and everything they unveiled. We'll get to DC at the end. There's not much to talk about there, but we will start with Kevin Feige coming out and easing everybody's expectations and all their doubts in announcing the multiverse saga, which is going to take us through phases 4, 5, and 6. We started with She-Hulk and the confirmation that Daredevil is going to be in this series with the yellow suit. That in itself should have been the biggest story of Comic-Con. But then we get an 18 episode Daredevil series coming. We got our first look at Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We got Avengers Secret Wars, Avengers the Kang Dynasty, the release date for Blade, the release date for the Fantastic Four. Where do you want to start, Eric? Because we got so much to talk about.
Let's start at She-Hulk, just because it's next up on the list of releases. And I'm not going to say I was skeptical about She-Hulk. I'm not going to say that I'm not looking forward to it. Oh, I'll definitely watch. But with this, especially the almost 3 minute trailer that they put, the final one for She-Hulk, it got me excited and I'm looking forward to seeing how they put this out, because just the focus obviously on Jennifer Walters and her relationship with her cousin Bruce Banner. We were always wondering, like, what does Abomination have to do with anything? We get more information as to that. She's representing him because after what happened from the Hulk in 2008. So it's gonna be cool to see that kind of dynamic. It looks like Abomination has turned over a new leaf, especially. We get Wong in here too. So we still get that tease of like the realities being in trouble after what we hear from Wong. We see Tatiana, the villain of this series, played by Jamila Jamil, and then capping it off with Daredevil in one of the final shots. Yeah, man, like it's got me excited for She-Hulk. Plus, we saw like some other obscure superheroes that they brought up in the trailer. So we're gonna see some things that we've never seen before in She-Hulk, and I'm definitely excited for this series to come out. What about you?
Yeah, I dig it. I think it's actually going to be a breath of fresh air for the MCU before we get into a lot more serious territory. So it's going to be 10, 30-minute episodes is what I heard. And it's going to be kind of cool to kind of have our first maybe Marvel sitcom in a way, just like a modern day comedy. And I really dig that. Obviously, Daredevil being in this show is like the cherry on top. And we had heard rumors that Jessica Jones was potentially in this series. Now that we got that other confirmation, I could definitely see that happening too. I think this series is going to surprise people. If you're harping on the CGI, I just, go back and watch the first trailer and watch this trailer. Things are improving, and they've been working on this show nonstop for 2 months, longer than that. So I think it's going to be fine in that aspect as well.
I'm also looking forward to them breaking the fourth wall a lot. You saw a couple teases in the trailer, so we're definitely going to get that. And like you said, like it definitely seemed like they heard the complaints from the first one, so the CGI is going to be is going to be a lot better and better than what we expected. Because if you, I mean, after the first one, if you thought that's what it was going to look like, let's slow it down. But then I also read part of an interview from people who are making the show, is that She-Hulk and Bruce Banner are two different people. So it's like she's not as muscular as Bruce Banner. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't expect the CGI to go as crazy or is needed as much. So I really didn't understand that issue. But again, She-Hulk is definitely now. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm definitely gonna be watching for when it's released.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. Put it high up on my list, but I think we should move in the order of Phase 4 and then kind of move down the line. We got to talk about Wakanda Forever because they put out one of the most beautiful, uh, best teaser trailers in Marvel history. I've watched it like 20 different times. It's such a great tribute to Chadwick Boseman and just the music and the cinematography and the new characters. Everything Ryan Coogler had to say on stage last night, I thought was beautiful. And this is now my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year.
Oh, that I 1000% agree with you. You touched on how this might be the best teaser trailer that they put out. I know they didn't say much about the plot. We saw the synopsis after it was released, but with this one, like I remember when they dropped the first trailer for Infinity War. I remember when they dropped the first trailer for Endgame, and I was like, "Dang, those were two like tough." They're setting the stage of what we're about to see. This one tops it 3,000 times. Like, just yeah, the tribute to Chadwick. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw it, I was a little emotional. And it's
Yeah.
just like, I can only imagine what it's going to be like in a theater for almost 2 hours, a little over 2 hours to watch the final film. And I know with so many, this movie has had, I don't want to say it's been divisive, but it's had its starts, it's had its stops. That we've seen the 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 concerns that people have, especially with the halting in production, um, Chadwick's passing, like everything, the what this character means to people, and how is it going to work with no T'Challa? I know we didn't get much, but this teaser really calmed like any thing that I felt might be that might not do it justice the second time. I was like, dang, they really rushed this out. They could have waited a year or two, maybe recast it, then did it, but they went into it. And honestly, we should have trusted Ryan Coogler from the beginning. I know he was going to handle it properly, but like you said, the music. Shout out to Tim, who covered. Um, dang. Who did the cover on that one, which transitioned into Kendrick Lamar's "All Right." Yeah, it set the stage, and I cannot wait for November 11th.
Yeah, me too. Like, there's a moment in the trailer where T'Challa's mom is, goes, I'm the queen of the most powerful place on earth, and my entire family is gone. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to cry in this teaser trailer. It is so good. And then the synopsis you got after is that the Wakanda is mourning T'Challa's passing. So, because we didn't know how they were going to handle that, but um, I mean, no one can replace Chadwick Boseman. So just to have that character kind of retired, I think, is another beautiful tribute within itself to the actor that he was and everything he brought to the MCU.
For sure, and again, it's gonna be. I know we have this movie is going to be a straight up just celebration of not only of the of what they had to do together, but just of Chadwick Boseman. And honestly, like I cannot wait. Like this definitely has topped my most one of my this is the most anticipated Marvel movie that I've wanted to see.
Yeah, it's up there for me too. So we're gonna get that. We're gonna get Wakanda Forever in November, and it's gonna end Phase 4, which was kind of surprising for us.
For me too. When they said it was getting, I was like, whoa. And when you think about it, someone like people were on social media talking about how the Infinity Saga was 11 years, but now like Phase 4 is done in like 2. But if you think about it, there was no Disney Plus.
Yeah,
So if they had Disney Plus from the jump, we would be on phase like 8, 9, 10, or something like that. But yeah, like again, didn't mean to cut you off, but when they said that that's the end of phase 4, I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
yeah. I did not see that coming, and then I didn't see them just straight up unveiling the entire Phase 5 slate, which starts with Ant-Man 3 Quantumania, which I'll be honest with you, the first two Ant-Man movies are not my favorite Marvel movies. Like, I think they're fine. I think they are what they are, but this is really upping the ante. I sent the group chat a leaked trailer that you can kind of make out some images
What's
from
up?
before we went on. I saw a little blurry glimpse of Kang that got me real hyped up. So this movie is moving up my list of most anticipated, especially now that we know that Kang is the big bad of this next saga. So there's no doubting that when you get in a whole Avengers movie dedicated to you.
And when you sent that, I told you, man, I'm not watching that trailer, man.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy this, and it's full HD. I'm not trying to squint my eyes and somebody's head is in the way, and I'm just like, yeah, you know what, whatever. I'll wait till the whatever. They'll probably release it at D23, the full trailer. So I mean, yeah, like you said, Ant-Man 1 and 2. I mean, yeah, they were cool, whatever, but this one, it's definitely upping the stakes. We're getting Kang, we're getting MODOK, um, but yeah, Kang, he's it. He's the one. That's the I sent the group chat some descriptions where he was just like, oh, well, one of the lines in the trailer was just like, oh, Ant Man's like, I'm an Avenger. He's like, I'm a conqueror, and I was just like, oh, let's go. All right, please get like, please do me a favor, Kang. I need you to kill Hank Pym. Um, you might need to kill Hope. So just I need something. Please just get rid of these people, man. Like just finish them off.
Somebody's dying. Somebody's
Stake,
dying.
stake your claim that you're the baddest one. Like if we're gonna have to think that you're a bigger threat than Thanos, then you got to start it off with a bang. So yeah, we gonna need that, and I'm looking forward to Jonathan Majors' portrayal as Kang because a lot of like insiders have said that with Kang being the villain, the big bad of this saga, it's not going to be as linear as it was for Thanos. Like you can expect Kang in Loki season 2. You can expect Kang to pop up in other things because he has multiple variants. So it's just only it's going to be that's probably another factor of this phase that I'm interested in seeing. Just seeing like the different variations of Kang leading to that Avengers Kang Dynasty film.
Yeah.
And moving forward, it's just the phase 4, 5, and 6. Like we deserve this, honestly.
Yeah. Jonathan Major is going to be a very busy man. we will say that. So then next summer, we get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. From the descriptions I read, it sounds like Rocket Raccoon is going to have his origins told. They got a baby Rocket in there, and everything was very emotional. And James Gunn and Chris Pratt started crying on stage because they said that this is the end of the journey for the Guardians in the MCU. I think Dave Bautista has said that this is his final Marvel movie in his contract. So I think some of our Guardian heroes are not going to make it out of this movie alive. I think this is going to be another emotional movie as well.
Oh, for sure. And that again, like that's another. Like I enjoyed Guardians 1. I think I like Guardians 2 more than the first one. I might be in the group that's different in that opinion, but I'm looking forward to Guardians 3 1 because I'm looking forward to seeing more and fleshing out Rocket's character a lot more. We know how he's been described as tormented because of what happened to him, and the High Evolutionary. I think that's the villain in
Yeah.
that movie, who was the people that created Rocket. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be emotional to see that interaction on screen and see how the Guardians rally around him. Um, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Especially, I don't really care too much for Star Lord, but from the descriptions that we've seen, seeing how he's been reeling after losing Gamora, getting Gamora back, but Gamora not knowing him, and then having to to help his fellow Guardians in these travels. I'm looking forward to that. Adam Warlock to debuting. So it's gonna be good to see that. So yeah, this might be the end for this Guardians, and it might be, honestly, I don't see them doing another Guardians movie after this. Maybe popping up here and there or mentions, but I don't see another film like this. So I James Gunn, he's done great with Peacemaker. He did great with the Suicide Squad, and I know he's going to do great with this.
Yeah, so this is probably James Gunn's last Marvel go round, so I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of it too. Then, I mean, we get a slew of like Disney Plus shows. We get Loki season 2, which everyone is pretty hyped about, it seems, and then you get Ironheart. And after watching the Wakanda Forever trailer with Riri Williams in there, just making her Mark One Ironheart suit. I am so hyped for that show now as well. So add that to my list.
Yeah, especially I love that shot where you see her in the Wakanda Forever trailer, forging the suit, just like how Tony was doing in Iron Man 1 in the cave. So it's, again, I mean, it's tying back to both of these films, but tying back to Wakanda Forever and Ironheart. Like, yeah, I cannot wait to see, especially since, like we've talked about it before, Ryan Coogler also has a deal with Disney Plus to flesh out more of Wakanda for Disney Plus. So I once this film comes out, I can't wait to see what else branches from here.
Yeah. Then we get Blade. It's not called The Blade like people thought it was going to be online. It's just Blade, and it's coming out November 3rd of 2023. And Mahershala Ali is in there. There's been some other casting. I think we'll probably learn more about this at D23. So that's what I'm thinking.
Kit Harington, I think, is probably going to be there. Obviously, another show that I think we glossed over, but it's coming out early 2023. Is Secret Invasion.
That's right.
What was described there is that it's a dark political thriller. So I'm like, hey, I love the way they did it in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Captain America and the Winter Soldier is probably one of my favorite MCU movies, and I love the way that they did that espionage type feel. So if it's like that ramped up, this is going to be a good show.
Yeah, Maria Hill, I'm calling it now, is a Skrull. That's my prediction. So mark that down. July 24th, 2022. That's when I called it.
I guess what I'm interested in seeing that too is because in Captain Marvel, I believe the comics, the Skrulls were the bad guys, but
Yeah.
in Captain Marvel in the movie, they made them almost like sympathetic figures. So I'm just like, who's gonna have the heel turn? So it's like, who's like, in what way are the Skrulls gonna be now bad? So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. And I guess that's another thing I think they'll show at D23 as well, just to give us a glimpse of what's to come there. Because yeah, again, I'm wondering who are the villains, because I thought they were the Skrulls, but we'll see.
I think there might be like some big bad Skrull that's probably going to be in there. But yeah, that should be sick as well. Then what else do we got? We got Thunderbolts. I know that. Well, no, first, before we get to Thunderbolts, we got to talk about Daredevil, because Daredevil is coming the spring of 2024. And not only are they bringing back Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, this is going to be 18 episodes. We're getting 6 episodes now on Disney Plus. The Netflix shows were 13, and now we're getting 18. That was just like a crazy number that just came out of left field, but I'm down for it, honestly.
For sure.
After years away from Daredevil.
One thing that I'm wondering, they didn't say what the rating would be. They said it's 18 episodes, but they didn't. They said Marvel Zombies would be rated MA.
Mm-hmm.
So is that their foray into saying, okay, let's see how this goes, and after that, then we'll start saying, okay, if Daredevil is rated MA, like they didn't say that. So and plus, like I think they wanted the 18 episodes one because I don't know if we're gonna get another Daredevil series. I
Yeah.
don't say anything. So I think also Daredevil might obviously with having to do that many episodes in the first season, that also means that Daredevil Charlie Cox is going to be a major player in the MCU, whether it be on the street level side, whether it be for the Avengers. They are putting their resources into him, and they gotta probably maybe we can almost guarantee Jessica Jones might be in it.
Mm-hmm.
We can think maybe Luke Cage is in it. Because 18 episodes, one, I think they also want to say we're going to do it our way, kind of similar to how we talked about before with like something like Miss Marvel, where the comics were written in the 60s. So they changed Miss Marvel. So it's like, this is our Miss Marvel, like the MCU's version. So
Yeah.
yes, I know that we have 3 seasons of Daredevil right now on Disney Plus, but with the 18 episodes, they're going to say, okay, this is our Daredevil. So I think that's why they need that much. And they know how much this character means to the fans. So I don't think they wanted to cheat us with 6, 8, or 10. And honestly, 18, man,
Yeah.
I was surprised when they dropped that number. So
Yeah. It's like Christmas Day and then surprise your parents pull out another present out of the closet or something. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. Thank you. I was already happy, but go for it. So yeah, that's high up on my list. Then we got Thunderbolts, and I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus is going to play a big role in that. We'll probably see John Walker back, Zemo, Yelena, and a lot of the people we've been introduced to. But they did say we are going to get some new characters in this one as well.
Yeah, and sadly, obviously with William Hurt, he was probably going to be a major part of that, but he passed away as Everett Ross. So I'm interested to see who else was going to be in that. I don't know I don't think they're going to have Yelena in it. I don't know why. I don't think so. I think that the MCU might. They saw how well Yelena and Kate Bishop worked together, so I think we might get something with them. But I don't think she'll be a part of the Thunderbolts, and I'm probably going to be 1,000% wrong. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing John Walker again. I'm looking forward to seeing Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So yeah, the Thunderbolts. It's not. I guess I didn't really care too much, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. We'll see what happens.
It's Marvel's Suicide Squad. So, I mean, I'm going to watch every Marvel movie that comes out. It is probably not high up there for me as well. But that ends Phase 5. Then they're like, oh, we're getting 2 Avengers movies coming up. Avengers Kang Dynasty comes out in May. And then in November of the same year, we're getting Avengers Secret Wars. So I was like, holy shit, we're getting 2 Avengers movies in 1 year. That is crazy.
I'm a little skeptical about that. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think that's very, very tentative because even though they're not directing, Joe and Anthony Russo said that it was almost like damaging to their health to shoot Infinity War and Endgame back to back. And Secret Wars is already a ginormous comic arc that I don't know if you can say in one movie that you're going to cover all your bases. And then you have Kang. I think they're probably going to go back and say they're going to rejiggle that timeline because I don't know. Those are 2 massive, massive projects.
Yeah. So, and you introduced the Fantastic Four right before that.
Yeah.
That's the first movie of Phase 6, which I forgot. So there's a lot of factors at play.
So, and honestly, if you're Marvel, I think you also should have a director for that because it's such a major two major movies that you would need a director in place to see how everything else is going, just so like you have an idea of what to do. Because yeah, if you, I that is going to be a ginormous feat to put two Avengers movies out in the same year,
Yeah,
6 months apart. So it was cool when they released it, but I don't know if that's going to stick.
it's very close because even Infinity War and Endgame were a year apart,
Yeah,
and now we're hearing stories of how like overworked the
yeah,
VFX people were and everything like that. So we'll see.
yeah.
We'll definitely see. Um, on top of all of that, we still have D23 coming up, and they said they have what 8 projects that they still haven't announced. So
Mhm.
we're gonna fill in the gaps, probably more of Phase 5, and then we're gonna fill in the gaps of Phase 6, probably 2. Then I think we're gonna get the major castings at D23 is what I think is gonna happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we touched on earlier, that's where we'll see a trailer for Ant-Man. That's where we'll see a little bit more of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and plus we'll get more of those other shows that have not been announced. One conspicuous absence in all this is mutants.
That's right.
So I don't know if we'll see where they fall in this because we just had a mutant reference in Miss Marvel, and apparently they're also going to make Namor a mutant if that's what I've been seeing. So it's about we're gonna see there where they fall in all of this. Like you said, we'll get a lot of the castings, whether it's Blade, Thunderbolts, more of Secret Invasion, like just more things that have not yet been released. So I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to. I know I say it a lot, but it's true.
Yeah, it's just so much stuff. Like, I am all for it, but you know who had a bad Comic Con, Eric, was Deadline Hollywood because they said, well, they said we were going to get the mutants announced. That didn't happen. They also said Henry Cavill was going to be announced in a new Superman project for DC, and that is my transition into DC because they didn't have a great Comic Con either. It's almost like they were studying for a final exam in college and then they did it like the night before and they're like, oh crap, I have this huge presentation, let's just slap a few things together and call it a day. What they gave us was cool, but man, that just paled in comparison to what we got from Marvel. Kevin Feige just blew everybody out of the water.
And the thing is, we don't want to compare Marvel to DC because I mean everybody works hard to put this content out and doing all these things, but like there was no there was no like DC did this to themselves. Like they did it to themselves. If you really think about it, I was thinking about this earlier. If you really think about it, they really should have started their extended universe with Christopher Nolan's Batman. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you they came because Batman Begins came out in '05. The first Iron Man movie came out in '08, which was The Dark Knight that came out the same year. So it's like, why not start it then? Like, why not even like in 2012, The Dark Knight Rises, Avengers 1 came out. And it's just
Yeah.
like, you should have started it with him. Like, at least that would have set the tone for the rest of the extended universe. Like, put Christopher Nolan in the Kevin Feige model and let it run through him. Like, and we wouldn't be in this predicament now. Now you got Ezra Miller ruining everything for the Flash. You got to bring back Michael Keaton. Like, Batgirl is going straight to HBO Max. Like, what is going on? Like, the only two things that they showed